Good morning. Today is Thursday, October 8th, and this is the Morning Breach with Scott Davis. On average, only 27.9% of organizations are able to maintain full compliance with current PCI-DSS requirements. Global organizations continue to risk their customers' cardholder data due to lack of long-term payment security strategy and its execution. This is according to a new report by Verizon Business. Payment data remains one of the most sought after and lucrative targets by cybercriminals, with 9 out of 10 data breaches being financially motivated within the retail sector. 99% of those security incidents were focused on acquiring payment data. COVID-19 has driven consumers away from the traditional use of cash to contactless payment methods, which has generated more electronic payment data than ever before. So it should be seen more critical than ever to protect consumers' information, including their payment data. Additionally, only 51.9% of organizations were found to successfully test their security systems and processes on a regular basis. One of the requirements of PCI-DSS is annual third-party security audits. Now, these percentages are all likely to get worse, as PCI-DSS version 4 is approaching its release here in the coming months. So this should be a wake-up call to businesses and organizations around the globe that process credit cards, which is almost every business. Strong leadership is required to address failures to adequately manage payment security. Blackbaud, a cloud technology company used by colleges, universities, nonprofits, and others, was hit by a data stealing ransomware attack earlier this year. Slippery Rock University, the Smithsonian, the DC Bar, NPR, and over 200 organizations used the Blackbaud software application and have reported potential breach notifications due to the cyber attack. Now, back in July, Blackbaud did announce that it had paid the ransom and claimed to have received confirmation that the stolen data had been destroyed, which fooled no one. The reality is criminals are not the most trustworthy resource out there. And despite stating all the data was destroyed, it doesn't mean it was actually destroyed or it doesn't exist somewhere else, waiting for the cyber attackers to need yet another payday. This week, Blackbaud confirmed via regulatory filing that the stolen data included bank account data and social security numbers, which now pushes it into the category of personally identifiable information, even more so than before. Blackbaud did add that in most cases, fields intended for sensitive information were encrypted and not accessible. Again, in most cases. With the attack responsible for 8 of the 10 biggest September reported data breaches, the attack on Blackbaud will be one of the biggest of the year in terms of number of organizations affected, and sadly, I believe we are still unwrapping the full scope and size of this data breach. The success of the Blackbaud attack will lead to more attacks on third-party service providers like Blackbaud. It is crucial for any third-party service providers, but also business owners themselves, to understand the risk and get involved with understanding what protections are in place for your own network and your own data. SEPTA, or the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transit Authority, is still restoring operations since an August ransomware attack. The cyber attack caused the authority to terminate access to employees' email, as well as stopping the sharing of real-time travel information with its riders. It also disrupted routine scheduling practices on SEPTA's customized community Transportation Connect portal. The authority has found workarounds and restored much of what had been affected. But SEPTA employees are still, to this day, unable to get to files on shared drives or gain internet access at its headquarters in Center City. The authority is said to be going inch by inch on purpose as it scans for evidence of malware, and there is no timeline on a complete restoration. This is a perfect example of why every organization should have in place a business continuity plan. How many months can a business really afford to go while restoring its operations after a cyber attack? Building your plans today mean when the time comes to need one, you have a guide of what to do, and you're not trying to figure it out as you go along. Facebook has shut down a $4 million malware campaign that hijacked accounts and ran ads for diet pills, fake designer handbags, and more. Earlier this month, Facebook detailed a campaign out of China that stole user credentials and gained access to their accounts to run ads using the account holder's payment method. The University of New Mexico Police Department had hundreds of files leaked in what is being reported as the largest hack of United States law enforcement agencies ever. The files were published a little over 3 months ago, with no public action from the university since. UNM has stated that they were unaware that home addresses, driver's license numbers, and data from police reports were made public in the breach. This falls under the category of if you don't know what data may have been breached, you just don't report it. And that is why it is critical that every organization has a data policy that outlines where and how data is stored. Data policies are even more critical today as more and more organizations allow employees to store data locally at their remote home offices, most of which don't establish safeguards to ensure data is not transferred to USB drives, and most importantly, that your data stays secured. Thank you for watching today's episode of The Morning Breach. If you've learned something new by watching this, please take a second and like and share the video. If you want to see more episodes of The Morning Breach or find useful resources in helping you secure and protect your organization, please visit themorningbreach.com and follow along with us on Facebook and LinkedIn. As it is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, remember to be cyber smart. Thanks for watching.